So, tell me, who do you call when the police is the problem? When the law starts working for crime and justice becomes a luxury? Well, on this edition of Black or White, we will be looking at a question that probably some Nigerians, maybe most Nigerians, have wondered at some point in time. Who upholds the law as far as Nigeria and Nigerians are concerned? Well, we had a full house. The lady of the house is here, Amira.
Hi, guys.
And of course, my friend, brother is also joining us on this edition. Kule, it's great to
Good
have
to
you.
be here. It's good to be here. Thank you for having
Yes,
me.
the brightest one of them all, Bright himself.
Thank you for having me today.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Amira, let me
Yeah?
start with you. Ladies first, like they always say.
I'm excited.
So, where do we start from when it comes to this subject of the police now becoming, rather than being custodians of the law,
Yeah.
they become not just breakers of the law, but gatekeepers of chaos?
Okay. So before I even start, because I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's not all the police, right?"
True.
But one bad egg could spoil the rest.
Hmm.
As much as we have 300,000 plus amount of individuals in the police force, right? We still have a few that are terminating the reputation of the police force. But that's what we see majorly. Personally, when I am in a situation of chaos, the police they are not people that will come to my mind first because of how nonchalant, how sometimes irrelevant they are when it comes to performing their duties and tasks. I've been harassed not once, not twice, not thrice.
Wait, when you say harass,
Yeah.
okay, share with us a scenario.
So my dad wouldn't want to. I wouldn't share it. But there was the first person I called was my cousin, and he advised me because I'm someone that is very, what's that word? Confrontational.
And definitely, I
Yeah.
know that our police personnel
They don't like that.
They don't like it.
confrontation.
Yeah.
They don't
They
like
don't like
it.
confrontation.
And he was like,
Especially
next
from a
time.
lady.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, right, they always find people that they call it lottery. Like
Loitering,
just
yeah.
staying in a public space.
Yeah,
And they don't want to hear why you're there.
yeah. Whether it's next to your
Don't be
building
there.
or-
And especially if you're young and probably you're driving a type of car and they
Yeah.
feel like they can manipulate you
Yeah.
and just turn everything around because that's what they're really good at.
Typically,
I've
yeah.
experienced that firsthand. And I'm usually more furious I'm never scared. Okay, that's my red flag. When I'm not wrong, I always try to prove my right. I keep forgetting
which
that.
is not wrong.
Yeah, which is not wrong.
Yeah,
But
but
I keep forgetting that Nigeria is not a country that allows
Exactly.
kills you to know your
Exactly,
rights.
To know your right.
We expect that there's sanity check when they are employing these people. Unfortunately, we have people that are very insane.
Of course.
So now I'm more calmer.
I'll take a cue from what she has just said.
Yeah.
Right. So we were talking earlier on, and I said I know for a fact that we might hear from the IGP that every policeman employed must have gone through some sort of training or orientation.
yeah,
We might argue that whatever, we'll leave it to them to decide. But let's go back a bit. When we were talking earlier, I said, imagine having a road safety official
yeah,
who is supposed to understand the reason why he's employed in the first place. Are these police people even understanding, or do they even know why they are employed in the first place? So you see a road safety guy who maybe on the highway, you see maybe like a tipper or a trailer on the road, and they want to stop the guy, which is within their jurisdiction, to say, why are you driving at this time of the day? Park. In the course of them parking that guy, there's a whole line of traffic
they
behind
create
them.
traffic.
So,
Yeah.
so now a road safety guy who was employed to help curb traffic on the road
Make the road
It's
safe,
causing it.
is now
passable.
causing traffic on the road. Now, sometimes I drive close to these guys, and the first thing I want to do is to get close to them and say to them, look how you're causing traffic. Can you at least park this guy better, or at least come back? At least there are like
Think
4 or
of the
5 of them.
safety
Yes.
of the
So
other
if you think of
road-
it, if you think
road
of it in the
users.
first place, the plan is they should have the capacity to address traffic situation, not about trying to either I don't know
Create
whether
more
to call
problems.
it, not to cause more problem, for better choice of word, so that we don't get to say extort this guy, because we know even if you talk to the chief tomorrow and he says my men have trained, all that bullshit, excuse my French, but I'm saying the capacity first, has it been provided to these guys? Now there's a situation where you are supposed to look out for whoever is, walking unnecessarily, movement, loitering around, like they call it. But are you asking the right questions? Who
I
are
know.
you?
I know there's a law against loitering. I know that
But
at
is
some
there a check
point,
if that person is the occupant of this building he's standing outside of?
So the
No.
loitering is not the real loitering. Imagine me going to an open restaurant and I'm parked at the car park or close to my house. It doesn't make sense, honestly. Sometimes, right, they just use these opportunities to
Exactly.
just
It creates
try and
opportunity.
extort.
That's
And you know
the
the
word.
thing is, sometimes they try to even plant stuff in your I don't know, they already know what they want to do. I'm talking
Yeah.
about traffic and all that. How many police vehicles have you seen that looks in shape? Because of how they drive so rough, they beat traffic light, and the worst thing is all those sirens that will just be coming and the thing is so pissing. And I don't know, right now I just even feel I'm not supposed to feel angry, but I feel a certain way.
I can understand the psych because we're talking about a sensitive matter. We're talking about law enforcement officers, particularly the police. I'm coming to you, Kunle, because in other parts of the world, you have this famous phrase to serve and to protect. Most people, attribute it to the New York police who popularized it. I think it's in Lagos. I've once seen once or twice police vehicles carry that insignia to serve and to protect. But the popular phrase in Nigeria is the police is your friend. So is the police our friend? Because looking at the conversation today, where the law enforcement officer now becomes the enforcement for injustice rather than
That's
actually enforcing the law. Is the police truly our friend?
Yeah, actually they said it, or everybody have given one or two experiences. And if you look at it, we are not far from all of these experiences. Every one of us have actually witnessed it one way or the other. However, we have to understand.
The IGP will deny that and tell you that doesn't happen.
Don't forget,
under my watch.
He's the number one PRO,
Under my watch.
public relations officer of the force.
The truth of the matter is, even when he denies, sometimes they admit to the fact that, we have bad eggs.
Yes.
Do you understand? So those bad eggs are the ones we are addressing in the situation right now. Now, so what are we saying? Police, is it good? Are they favorable for us to run to when we have problems? Are they the best option for us? Or any law enforcement agency? I say for now, we have to just take care of ourselves.
Look up to God.
No, I want to play devil's advocate at this point. Because, let's look at the facts.
Sorry, before you get there, I think police are a friend with Oga Halfa. Now, you know the meaning of this?
Quickly.
Yeah. So
But
when it comes to that,
let me quickly say this, just for
Yeah.
record's sake. So I've passed through a lot of police guys, and when they see you,
And they're
your
friendly and all
demeanor, they just go.
but why are they
Thank
friendly?
you.
That
No,
Halfa,
that's
just
what I'm
like
saying.
that.
No, that's
Okay,
what I'm saying.
okay,
They don't
okay.
do the handshake.
That's where
Okay.
I want to play
to be honest, especially in Abuja.
devil's advocate
Before-
now,
okay.
because I've had the opportunity of interacting with now DIG Frank Mba when he was force PRO, and he will always tell us, say, look, these guys are human. When they stop you, smile at them.
Yeah,
Be nice.
I think that has worked for me.
Be nice to them.
Yes.
Say, look, it's not easy to stand under the sun,
Yeah.
in harsh weather, cold weather.
Tell them you appreciate them.
Just-
Maybe not
just-
dipping your hand, but just say it, express
just
it.
be nice. Just be nice. But let's look at the facts. You're looking at a police force, roughly 300,000, as against a population of 200 million. I think the UN
We are under
says
police.
we are under policed. They are under pressure. The VIPs, if we look at the percentage the VIPs take,
They each one takes about 10, 15 of them.
do you understand?
that's crazy.
And then the remainder are expected to protect the rest of the citizen. That's a tough job.
It's a tough job.
It takes a toll
So,
on
sorry,
you
please.
psychologically, mentally.
One
So
thing
is
the IG,
it possible?
every time the IG comes on, the new IG comes in, they get to say, oh, we'll stop this VIP thing. Why has that not also worked?
It can never.
If
stop.
there's intentionality in
Well,
terms of curbing
I don't
these things,
think-
The
or handling-
VIPs, the issue of the VIPs
No,
is something we
yeah.
need to look at deeply at some point. But the fact still remains that the remainder of this police have to cater to you and I. And I think they put the calculation at one police to about 500 people. So how does one man, one woman be able to protect 500? Isn't that being more than pressuring? So is it possible that
do you know what
we
I've
are
asked?
being overly expectant
Yes.
of our current police?
Let me cut in a little bit. We all know that all those guys are truly under pressure to do their job. However, this is a job they signed up for.
Thank you.
And if they know they can, if you can't take the heat, you have to get out of the kitchen. So if you know that you have signed up for this job, what is left for you at least to be humane enough to know to do the right from the wrong? Because you're hired to protect and serve.
Yeah.
When it gets to the point whereby the person, the institution that is supposed to protect and serve has now become the crime itself,
Wow.
then there's a problem. I put it to you that we talk about kidnapping and everything in this country today. I am very, very certain to tell you today that one of the biggest kidnappers in Nigeria today is the police force.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Now-
a big allegation.
Yes.
I would have wished
I'm going to break it down for you.
the commissioner
let-
of
let's-
police
I'm gonna
or
break
the
it- I'm gonna break it down
PBRO
for
was
you.
here to
I'm going
you
to
know,
break it down for you. Kidnapping, we all know. Let's look at the dictionary meaning. And then we all know what kidnapping means. You kidnap somebody, you extort money from the family, right? Now, what happens is almost every weekend or every other day, you see some irrelevant cases in the police. Cases that are not supposed to even happen in the police station. Police has turned themselves to debt recovery agents. They have turned themselves to civil and welfare matters agents and all of those things. And when you see this happening in the police, they neglect their primary responsibilities to protect and serve.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now they are concerned about going after people to arrest people that are owing other people, to arrest people that are fighting against their families and friends, and put them in detention.
Confinement.
So when you come and say, "Oh, my brother is there," they will now ask you. You have to bail him. Then they start.
And yet, there's no bail charges.
There's no bail charges on
yeah,
it. You
bail
can.
is supposed
bail
to be
is
Supposed to be free,
It's supposed
and
to be
then they
free.
extract money. Sometimes these people stay for longer days. I have an experience. A friend of mine was invited to the police station for a civil matter, and guess what? After the invitation, they went to her office and they said, "Oh, we want to invite you for a civil matter." And the girl was like, "Okay, for what?" "Oh, boyfriend and girlfriend matter." And then she says, "Okay." The office said, "No, you can't just take her. You have to send a letter." Police send a letter. And they sent letter to the office, and then the office now said, "Okay, since they have invited you, we can give you time to go do this invitation." To
Hope
go
they didn't go on
attend
a
Detain
Friday.
her.
invitation.
Hope they didn't
Happened
go
on
on
a
a Friday.
So
You sleep there.
No matter.
so and then, I think it happened on a Thursday. So and then the girl went to attend to the matter. It's a civil matter between boyfriend and girlfriend. What does police have to do with that? Come on. And then she went. After getting there, they ask questions and all that. Write a statement. You are not
Typical.
supposed to even ask her to write a statement without a lawyer.
Exactly.
You forced her to write the statement, and she did, and you detained her, telling her no lawyer will
Memory
pay her
lane.
today. They are charging her for furious,
of-
all kinds of
Outrageous
outrageous reasons.
So-
So,
sorry
when
to-
you look at that,
Yeah.
you begin. That is one out of millions that happen in this country. So that is to tell you, when I said they are kidnappers, that person didn't get back home that night until the next day. She
But they
couldn't
will-
go to
they will
work.
tell you it was a lawful detention.
It isn't.
No, they said,
Everybody knows.
No, they will say
the
they
law
have,
is
there-
clear.
there's a law that permits the police to hold you for investigation up to 24 hours.
Yeah.
There are some. It depends on the. It depends
doesn't matter.
on
But
the
if you look
offense.
at the
Doesn't matter the
condition,
It
so
depends on the
someone is
offense.
detained.
Yeah,
It depends on
that's
the
why they will
offense.
put. That's why they will put
Who
a lot of
determines
terms.
these conditions? That, like he said, ordinarily, or
The Police Act
you are
actually
supposed to
allows
go
for
with
that,
your
yeah.
lawyer,
Yeah.
who right there and then states
No,
clearly.
it's under investigation. So
If
why?
it was
why
an invitation,
Every case is
if it
under
was an
investigation.
invitation, if it was an invitation, they don't have any reason to detain you. If you invite, if you
Yeah.
arrest, you can detain.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah,
you invite,
okay, I
you
understand
cannot
what you're
detain.
So, but that
And
has
honored
become
invitation.
a standard now.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
has
saying.
become a
invite you,
standard.
They will
lure
invite you, lure you in,
Yeah.
and then keep you in
Detain you.
And
detention.
detain
So
you.
we have a unanimous vote that it has become a standard. But how come nobody has taken it up to challenge
That's where the problem
Police
is.
Service Commission?
That's where the problem
to
is.
challenge
Well,
the
people have
Police Act,
challenged. People,
that
there are so
to
many.
challenge the laws that empower the police, or supposedly empower the police.
How many?
to carry out this?
It is not about the challenge that you give them. There's a lot of challenge. Everybody
a
comes
lot.
online every day to
Every
cry about all
single
this
day.
injustice,
The online-
all this
online-
travesty
It's
of
not
justice.
enough.
Everybody
there are
talks
people-
about
there are
it.
people that taking the
Online is
police
just a
to court,
platform.
though.
And I'm talking. I give you examples. There was a time where in the city of Abuja, you park your car, you pay. You don't
Park
pay,
and pay.
They lock your car.
Cars.
And somebody got up and challenged the
The system.
FCT
What sort of,
and the system and said, look, no
This is
law
wrong.
empowers you to put this kind of system in place.
Mr.
Yeah.
John.
You understand?
Mr. John.
And the law courts,
Yeah,
gave it
and
to
so they stopped it.
and they stopped
yeah.
it.
So,
So
Mr.
are
John,
we
this
saying-
is something we were talking about earlier today.
Yes.
And I would like to just put more emphasis on that conversation. So there's this issue of we saying, is it that the system was built so that we keep doing what we want to do until we realize that we need to report the matter? So a lot of time we have seen a lot of persons who have written petition against an issue, and quickly you get like a response.
Yeah.
Is that what the system is supposed to be? If that's what it is, don't we think that's what we should start imbibing and letting people understand? Because the youth of today, or majority of us, we don't care about how the system functions. We don't care about what
just
goes
want
on. We
results.
complain. We complain. We talk about the ills of the system, but we don't get involved. So if peradventure this is what the system is expecting, that until you complain officially, because if you go to any ministry, any organization, and you say, oh, I heard there's this thing that is happening, they'll tell you, right to the office.
In civilized crimes, no law is perfect. The laws are meant to change, in some cases be broken, to prove its fallibility. So I don't think it's different in our case.
No, it's different.
I think
Our
I
system-
think
our
because we
system
don't
is-
challenge
Our
it enough.
system is entirely different. We must start understanding that.
Okay.
We've been told about democracy. We've been told about every form of governance. But have we been told about the system that works for Nigerians?
No.
So what's
Not
do
at
you
all.
know the system that
We
works for
don't. We might
Nigeria?
coin it something and decide this is what works.
Yeah.
Because if we say we want to go by democratic process, it has not worked.
Okay,
Let-
let's hold that thought. Let's hold that thought. We'll take a quick breather, and this is an opportunity for you to also be part of our online community by sharing your thoughts on this conversation. We'd love to get tons of reaction. As I said when we started the show and the conversation, that this is a matter that has affected some Nigerians, maybe or all Nigerians. So, of course, don't forget to give us a like, follow, and on our YouTube page channel as well. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back after these messages.